Have to adjourn at 6:45 for a public hearing. The ordinances that we have on the agenda tonight is 123 and 223. I think one's for the property. I think 223 is for the property. Is that correct?
123.
123 is for the property, the water, and 323, I just got a phone call for someone and asked if that be passed. So it's about the entertainment district, so all three of those need to
I'll
be,
say all three, okay.
yeah, need to be passed. Yeah, we can only do it if Chad shows up, so if somebody has his number, somebody might want to text him.
I guess,
He might be stuck at work or something too.
that I just had a tooth pulled, my face is killing me, so I'm going to skip council
That Chad,
tonight.
Okay,
Right.
if he could just come to the meeting.
Yeah, I'm gonna text him back.
Study in
Do you have 3 ordinances for emergency?
Yeah, so we just come at 7.
Just come at 7.
tell him we don't care
Quickly.
what he looks like.
Yeah, he looks like a chipmunk.
Tell him the mayor's not giving his state of the city. So
Right, so
He'll be
you're
out of here
right.
pretty quick.
He'll be out here in and out quick.
So ordinance wise, that's all we have. Do we have anything else coming up for our next meeting? Max, do we have anything coming up ordinance wise?
We'll probably have one, Max, for the authorization to extend the trash contract.
Yes, we will have that one.
We don't do that in 3 readings, probably. That contract's not up to March, is
I think it'd be nice if we actually did it 3 readings.
That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should.
I don't know. I
it?
mean,
You remember, Dave, when the,
Bob, well, we need to, I
It's in
mean,
the spring when
we
that's
have
up.
the contract. Is it something that
As
we're
long
just
as we
gonna?
have, a couple days in
Or
advance.
is
so everybody's
council going
changing
to
the
have to
billing software.
authorize to sign that, or what do you, how do you want to
Because
do
we're paying more money, I think you gotta do a new ordinance authorizing it.
it? With the new price set out in the order, okay, all right.
So,
Don't you have to do the alley vacation ordinance next meeting?
yes.
do we have a description on that since we brought that up?
Yeah.
That's for RHDD, huh?
Or HDD.
You got it today? You need it, right?
And there may be a couple ordinances, authorizing spending of that design loan money for those different engineering projects. Warsaw and the
I got the survey.
wastewater upgrades, because those loans will be approved by EPA one day this week, I'm thinking.
Talk between you.
What was that again? I'm sorry.
The design loans for the Warsaw Waterline project, EPA is supposed to approve those this month. Also, the same loan for the design engineering for the wastewater sludge upgrades will be approved. There may be some authorization spending ordinances at the next meeting, may not, but those could be coming, depending on their timing.
Well, for not having anything, there's 5 ordinances right now we got coming, so. We keep saying, and the only reason I'm saying this is because we keep saying, we always pass these things in 3 readings in one night, and I just, it's not designed to do that. It's designed to have the readings and take the course, but we do have some that need to be passed, but I think the percentage that we pass in 3 readings could be better, so.
He's gonna try to make it 7.
Pardon me?
He's gonna try to make it 7.
Oh, okay, thanks. Sherry, you have,
I don't have anything, only unless possibly want to establish a new fund. It'll just be one new fund for the Warsaw project and possibly the water meter replacement project, but it'll only be one fund. So still looking into that. So yeah. Doing some consulting with that, so. But there wouldn't in my opinion, there wouldn't be the need to pass the emergency
Okay.
to establish the fund. It'll be,
Okay, so during council, I need to recognize that you set your December items too, right? Correct, for your auditor's
Yes,
report?
yeah.
Okay, I have that, okay. Anything else? Ordinance? Mayor? You awake?
I am.
It's a new
It's
year.
been a Monday.
I bet.
I wish it was as warm as it was, but
Yeah.
at least we weren't throwing salt on the roads.
Great.
You want full report? I'll give it to you.
Well, actually, I was just, if you thought, if we had any ordinances that you could think of.
The only thing I could think of is getting that alley vacation done and then whatever Dave has for.
Okay,
I don't have anything ordinance wise.
yeah. Okay, so I have the trash, the alley vacating the alley. And then the Warsaw stuff, Ms. Bendick, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We'll get to you quick enough here. How about that?
Okay, good.
Take a breather.
Can't wait. I'll take a nap till then.
I don't know about that. Okay, Sherry, you have anything else for us, for finances or anything?
no, I don't. I just, well, unless anybody had any questions, I just brought it up. I asked Jackie on your income tax report that she's, sends out to you monthly. I did ask her if she would start breaking out. I know the JED revenue is, over here in these last two columns. But then when she gives you the year-to-date revenue, that actually includes the JED revenue, which is, they pay our 1.5% income tax rate out there. But for us, it is not captured as income tax because that's the portion then that gets all allocated between the Port Authority, the township, us, and street, the safety security line item and the fire department. So I asked her to add the other little section here, and she titled it actual city revenue. Just because, before it did include that. So like before she would do her allocations of the distribution of funds for general street debt, capital improvement, and that JED revenue actually comes off, then that calculation is done. Because this full amount of the JEDs goes into a different revenue account maintenance for the breakout to, like I said, to the Port Authority and so forth. So I didn't know if anybody had any questions on that, so. I do, yeah, and,
Her formula is messed up.
oh, I think, didn't she correct?
Or did she?
She corrected it, I think she saw it afterwards, yeah, yeah.
That one was.
Yeah, she's,
crazy.
yeah,
One of these
no,
was
she
crazy.
corrected it before and that might even been the report before.
There was one I looked at.
Yeah, it was like 1,000 something, yeah, something wacko went and she
That's
corrected it.
from that big business coming in, the big return coming in, is that why that jumped? Business, that one.
Well, our net profits are up. We had, from previous years, from 20 to 21, Jackie feels like, some of the businesses, they had some net losses that they filed returns. Well, thinking COVID and so forth, we were seeing a little bit of hit, but it didn't as much as maybe some other municipalities. So they didn't have to pay estimated taxes. And here within that last quarter, and this last month, we had some pretty good estimated payments made. So that boosted that. So that, tells you they're obviously doing better from
While
filing
we're
that loss
talking
to
about
that.
taxes, I think we asked this question the last meeting, and I know you followed up with the email. I want to just follow up again and make sure I have an understanding. The group working on the Grace Church, are they paying payroll taxes? And are they registered with the city?
I believe Jackie said they were doing withholding, but Mark, were you checking the,
Max.
Or
check,
Max.
was
I don't
working on
think they were registered as a contractor, but she was getting some payroll withholdings from them on that aspect.
And Feasel also, are they under the umbrella of Balefish as a subcontracted.
I don't think Feasel works for underneath them at all.
Did they do the roofing work?
No,
Previous,
I think
they
it was,
did the
yeah,
previous.
previous,
That's
yeah,
what I thought.
previous they did, but I don't think they did this.
All right.
roofing.
I just,
They are,
I want to make sure we're getting. our-
Mayor, I brought that up because when Bob sent out the building permit reports,
mhm.
I went back through them and I didn't see where the church had a building permit. And and I know you know how things operate. And I was just like, well, if they don't have a building permit, are they doing the payroll
Right.
taxes? Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing?
No, I think that's all straightened around now. I'm pretty sure I'll follow up on it,
Okay.
but I think it's all good.
Thanks.
Is that permit waived if there's a fire or emergency or something?
Most of the time, yes. I think that's where that is. Churches usually are exempt. Anyone we can help out, we do. Natural disasters or something like that, it's usually waived.
Yeah.
I know they went through Mideast, Mayor, because he had some issues he had to discuss with them. I know they went through Mideast, at least to get the plans approved.
Good.
Well, sometimes I think people will go through East,
Yeah.
Right, and that's
and then
where-
they think
right,
that's all they have to
right.
do, then they
And
don't
that's where I
realize
think
they
the
still have to
confusion
come get the
was.
permit here
Right.
through us.
Housing and property maintenance, I know that last Friday, I think it was, there was an email flying around with a picture on it with the guy driving over the curb.
I received a picture from Chad last week, and I'd also had a area business ask me about it when I was in there, so I drove by and it's at the corner of South Seventh and Orange. I'm sure it's probably a rental, and they're driving up over the curb, over the sidewalk, and they've created their own driveway, which is mud.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything illegal about parking in a yard, so.
Well, it may not be about parking in the yard, but going over a curb and over a public sidewalk.
Well, if you're gonna park in your yard, you're probably gonna drive over a sidewalk and a curb.
Okay, how safe is that if I'm backing out?
I mean,
I'd send it to the sheriff, so when he's here during our meeting, I'm gonna ask him if they're violating any, what it used to be, you have to ask for your curb to be cut out in
Right.
order to create a driveway, and obviously that hasn't been done, it looks like heck.
I
feel like
actually,
that
there's an
happened on
ordinance, so it was kind of neat to me looking at history. There's an ordinance, I don't know, I can't quote you the date, but the cost for a curb cut, you want to guess how much a curb cut cost?
When
Back
that
in the
ordinance
day.
is passed,
Yeah,
You're
I
talking back in
don't,
the
yeah, I
day.
don't know what, I can't.
$3.
That's what it is.
Well, I was
It
here when
seriously
they did
is
that.
$3, right? I looked at that, cause someone came in to get a curb cut and I was like, and my assistant looked and he's like, why for $3? It just cost how much, for paperwork and us to go through this. So it's just one of those things I think.
I
needs
just
to
think
revise.
it creates a safety problem, because 7th Street is a well-traveled
Right,
street, and if they're going up over the curb and backing out over the curb, that's never been an issue, ever. There's never been a,
well, what people don't
Problem
understand
there.
too is in the tree lawn, the neutral zone that no one understands that they have to maintain it, but we basically have rights to the tree lawn. There's a lot I've seen around town that are cemented, that are gravelled. There's a lot of utility in there, water shut-offs. So if something were to happen, it's just going back however we put it back. So I noticed that a lot around town, that people don't want to park on the street. The issue becomes that the city wasn't designed for everyone to have 5 cars. It was, all this section of town that was built in the 1900s, people didn't even have cars. So that's where I think a lot of the problem, and if you have a house that's now 3 apartments and you have 3 cars for each tenant, you have 9 cars somewhere that was built for 2, so.
well, I don't know if there's parking behind off the alley. I know there's parking on Orange Street. It's still available, because I went by there today to look,
Right.
go down the alley, but I just think we're creating a safety issue if we permit that. Then the other one, think I sent it to you or Max. It's on South Sixth Street, right past MFM on the right. The front porch is a total disaster.
Yeah, there's actually a couple houses down that way, and I know we've dealt with the one that is further from MFM, has been dealt with previous months and years, and needs addressed again, but there's another one close to MFM that needs addressed
I
too.
don't know if I sent it to you or Mark. I sent an address.
I'm familiar, if it's the ongoing one, I'm
Yeah,
familiar.
Check it out.
They've been
Right.
feeding the birds outside too, so there's more and more pigeons every day.
You're talking on Sixth Street?
Yep. Yes, I am.
So you want the pigeons gone or?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there, just letting y'all know.
We
There are a lot
try
of
to,
pigeons.
I'm good with, if you can't see anything on the porch,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But
Yeah,
when
me
it
too.
starts piling, so why don't you guys feed the pigeons?
Pull them down my way.
Yeah. pull 'em your way, yeah.
You know,
Okay,
that one on Seventh Street. If that's a rental, the owner may not even be aware that
I
they're
was
doing
gonna
that.
look and
and,
see who
yeah.
owns that.
Maybe he should be, the owner should be contacted and
Right.
say, we
Say, hey,
request that if they're gonna do that, they actually put in a driveway. Because they've got ruts cut down through there, and that's just washing right down across the sidewalk.
Well, and that's what you don't want it in the street either. I
Right.
drove by there today and they were actually not parked in their ruts. They were parked on the grass, like
The
offsetting.
the ruts are getting too
So,
deep.
Right, they're right. They didn't want their tires dirty.
Mark, where are we on the code inspector's job?
Tomorrow, we should have some kind of word. We're having a meeting with the sheriff's office administration tomorrow, so
I think it's time.
we should be there. Yep.
We'll quit bugging you and bug them.
That's the beauty of that job.
I don't like bugging you.
Anybody else for housing and property maintenance?
I did look into the community development block grant that you had sent me that
Mhm.
information on before Christmas. And so I did a lot of research today. It's really interesting. I think it is a viable project for us. They focus on neighborhood improvements. Some examples they used were housing rehabilitation, and there was another city that they got funding for like solar power to pay for all the water treatment plant, things like that. So I dug a little deeper to figure out how do we do this, and because it appears to be an ongoing project. Like the funds keep coming as long as you keep proposing ideas. So it is currently being run out of our county commissioner's office with the
Right, all
CDC
the- right,
Ohio.
all the funding comes from there.
All
So
the
that
funding.
would be, right, the pool of money is shared throughout the whole county.
Okay,
So on that CDBG,
So
and you can use it for a lot of stuff.
So,
so they have somebody
Yes.
from CDC Ohio that meets at the county commissioner's office every Thursday. I don't know if any of you are
Yeah.
familiar with that at all, if it would be worth me stopping in and talking to him, or
Well,
their
John, maybe you
projects.
could show you, there's 3 different people.
Okay.
For CDC. In fact, our Appalachian steering team right now, girl's name
Julian Flowers.
Flowers is kind of taking that off of me to head up.
Jillian Flowers,
Yeah.
okay,
She'll probably be taking Mr. Cleek's job when he retires. So, we've done a lot of work with, like your sewer line and reline, that was all CDBG money, your
Okay.
revitalization.
Was this water project CDBG?
Yes.
The 8th
Yeah.
and 9th Street
8th
water
and 9th Street, that
project?
was CBDG.
So are there only certain areas in town you can
Yeah,
use
it's really
CDBG?
gonna be in the LMI areas,
So first, second.
first and second
Right.
wards, more viable for CBDG funds. Of course, the infrastructure, generally don't rely on that, you usually get it, there's usually 3 projects, there's 2 $750,000 projects, one $300,000. You usually have 2 years to complete them once they're in the pipeline. We didn't get a lot of that money last year, all that went, was like we had on our sewer projects.
Okay,
We got, there's a little pot of like 80-some thousand. Remember, we looked at streetlights and found out that that wasn't even a drop in the bucket for what we was looking at. So we're actually using that money to hopefully extend the sidewalk from Sixth and Plum to get people into the backside of yours from the lower income housing down by the cemetery. So we've actually got engineering associates doing some preliminary engineering as part of that, $83,000. So it needs to be spent by like August of this year.
so are there projects already in place for so many years going forward
Like
at
we'll
this
use
point?
them for the Warsaw. We would hope to get
Okay,
the 750 for the Warsaw project. We actually got that for the Westlake Gap project.
okay,
And, it's a very good program.
yeah,
There was some talk about doing away with it, and the whole state rose up and said, no, that's one program we really need to keep in place, so.
okay,
Michelle, I might add that the city years ago, we used to be able to apply for our own, but they changed basically the rules on it. And you have to have a population over, I think it's 15,000 to be able to do it. So we used to be able to go for them
city and county,
mhm,
okay,
individually. So now we have to kind of just play
The
ball. with-
county's been excellent. to work
Okay.
with
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, they kind of, they take
15,000 seems to be
turns.
the magic number, doesn't it?
It is.
Sure
They take
does.
turns. And can there only be like
We're gonna get there, Mayor.
Three projects.
three projects?
Something, but I
There
didn't
can only
realize
be 3
that.
projects open at one time.
I saw
so they
that.
have to-
I'll tag
Okay.
in between
All right, well, I'll
meetings.
keep investigating as far as what we can do for housing or rehab. Yeah. All
What
right.
during, like, if you want to do another rewrite, like in Mike's ward or the second ward?
We were talking about
Neighborhood
helping people
rewrite.
with.
We're just trying,
how
yeah,
to maintain-
is there things we can do?
That can be used with some of that. You're going to have 3 or 4 projects for the money. So like say you want to do a rewrite project. We done, what else we do, Mike? We done sidewalks, curbs, we're down some vacant houses, school bus shelters, and something else. You have to have community meetings.
Okay,
Yeah.
yep, I saw all that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
would
it's
it
a
be
pretty big
beneficial
deal.
for me to meet with Leslie and see where the projects are and what she's got planned? Or do you,
With Leslie,
so you told me your name was?
Jillian.
Oh, Jillian, I'm sorry.
We generally take 2 projects.
Right, it's a girl. Yeah, sorry.
What's nice about it is we generally take the projects to them and they say, yes
Okay.
or no.
So writing a proposal.
Mhm.
Have we ever done anything for like painting houses and?
Not in my tenure, I'm not saying it's never been done, I don't know that. I know
Okay.
Sherry Snell put something out, she was working with that OU deal. The Gloucester or Chauncey, one of them, had, it's a Chauncey.
It's Chauncey.
It's
Which is it?
Chansey.
Oh.
Chansey.
Down Southern High.
That's when they know you're not.
They
from
had
there.
to receive some type of grants to fix up houses. And I don't know if that's different than our normal CHIP funding. But of course, we go through Dale Hartle for that, where people can go out and get money in there to fix up their own homes, but,
They have through there, they have I see a lot of them like private rehab, they call them, or home repair. But it is still through the county. I mean, we use Dale Hartle some on that. So what that creates though is Dell's Higher Regional Development will send me an invoice and so forth. I have to then invoice the commissioners. The commissioners then go and pull money from the grant and pay it to us for us to be able to continue to use the Higher Regional Development. But they do have, for private rehab.
and now where we found out the other day, talking to Dale, the only bad thing is for us, the town cannot be used on rentals. You have to.
Right, if you want to rehab a house, like the owner has to apply and the owner it has to be
That
owner
makes sense.
occupied.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have to live there for so long
Right.
after they get the
5
grant money.
years
If not,
before
they
they
have to
sell
pay
it.
them back.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's only fair.
Mhm.
It's a good program.
It's happened a
Yeah.
couple times. Huh?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Rested up, Mayor?
I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's hear it.
So property code enforcement officer, we're, like I said, we're having a meeting tomorrow with the sheriff's office administration. I want to remind everyone, gaming permits, letters went out. I think one organization sent their money in. And we made it easy on 300 a machine, no gaming room licensure. The community entertainment district, I guess, we're gonna try to get Chad here to pass that emergency tonight. Cemetery, working on water lines in the cemetery to make it easier to water when people come down. We do have a slight mess going on, but just want people to know we're not digging graves up or anything. It's kind of muddy. I'm hoping it stays 35 to 45 degrees all winter and we'll get a bunch of stuff done and not spend any money on salt or overtime. So just want people to know, residents to know that there is a mess. It's not a huge mess, but if you can't get around, it's gonna be that way. Hopefully by spring, we have everything up. A lot of times people hit those like back into the spigots with their cars, and that's why they don't work. I don't think that the new section of South Lawn Cemetery has been, it's all complete. It's on all the time. The older section, that's where they're working the water into out there. So that should be complete by springtime. I'm happy to report there's been no issues at Park and Walnut or Fourth and Walnut. Need to get a ETA on when 4th Street's going to be back open. The light at Park and Walnut will be removed at some point, because I've had people tell me they're looking up instead of down at those flashing stop signs. So,
I've seen people just drive right
Yeah.
through them.
Oh, yeah. Still have
but I
to.
don't think that has to
You see
do
that
with
flashing
the,
light from 3 blocks away.
I don't think that the light or the flashing stop, some people just don't do what they need to do.
It's not
So,
as bad as it was when you first put them out. Cause I sat there and watched 3
Right.
cars going through.
You can see one at 4th Street from Park
Yeah.
Avenue.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's getting better.
No left turn. I'm gonna get probably a spotlight, LED
can you
blinking
move that
lights,
to the
like
left side?
17, like no
Right, but
left
I think it
turn.
needs to be
But
moved to the
over
left
here,
side
it
of
needs to
the
be-
So
pole.
if you're
because it's here
driving,
and I'm gonna
I
turn
wanna
left.
invite
I'm
you
looking.
guys and the general public, when you're driving and you're in that lane and you look straight up,
I don't see that.
it says
I
no
see it
left
right.
turn straight up from where you're
It's
driving.
over here on the right of the pole. It's
Yeah,
right where
it's
the
to the
bend's
right.
coming up. It's way over
I-
here to the right.
I'm
If you're not
telling
looking
you.
for it, it's hard to
It's
see.
hard.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if you are in that lane and you look straight up, it says no left turn.
There's
straight.
other signs we have where you can't turn left. There's a big
No, we're gonna-
circle with the left
That's
arrow
what
and
I'm
a
gonna,
line
well, I'm
through it.
gonna do that
I'm like, we
because
almost need one of
when you
those.
look
down.
when you look at literacy
Yeah.
rates, you do definitely want an arrow.
Right.
I'm gonna probably put backlighting, blinking and then like 10 spotlights.
I have had people ask about that. They didn't even know what no left turn. I said, there's a sign there. Well, we
And that's
can't
why I
see it.
put it up there. So we'll get another couple signs, something bigger sign.
Maybe one on
We've been
the
just-
curb, on the sidewalk, right by the.
Well, I've lived in this town for several years and I still don't make a left-hand turn there because there never was.
Right.
You never was allowed to turn left there.
See, if
so.
everyone was like Councilman Gross, the world would be. a
That's
better
right.
But that
place.
sign then is on the left-hand side of the pole.
It needs-
You can't see it though. You can't see the new sign.
It needs a arrow, like
Yeah,
in
like
the
the one
middle
with-
of it.
Yeah, where we've had other places. Yeah.
They're,
It
Kevin's
used to be. up there.
looking.
Mhm, And hanging from the thing when it used to be an adventure.
Kevin's looking at
Yeah,
different
yeah.
options. And like I said, I'm gonna do State of the City on February 13th. That'll be Coshocton's Valentine's Day gift for me. You're gonna be sick that day, Roger. Okay. And that's all I have. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
I've been forwarding emails that I've been receiving from Mark and also the sheriff, from Mr. Grower. And the last one, he was concerned about the lights around the water treatment plant for Christmas and want to know why we use taxpayer money to do that. I sent that to Marcus.
Yeah.
Dave did respond, and I responded back that there was no taxpayer money used to do that. And he was also concerned about the situation earlier with the coordinated transportation gentleman. And I replied back that he needed to talk to the county commissioners because we do not handle Coshocton County Coordinated Transportation.
Right.
So, yeah, I did respond.
I'll speak to you off the record on that too.
Thanks for your help, Dave.
Is that durable, Brad?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anybody else have anything for Mayor?
Mayor, are we gonna have a new contract with Kimball or what's their plan?
I'm not sure. I'll have to see
Because
what
when we do
they,
this ordinance thing, you did.
I don't know if it'll just be a piece of paper that says we shall now extend this and here's the price. They've just emailed me and said, here's the price. So I'll get clarification on what,
Because the price is what we discussed in December, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's listed in the
Yeah, it's-
contract.
yeah,
it's
listed in there, right.
And then they just had that governmental surcharge. There's like a tipping fee that went up. So that's all
Right.
that's what went up like 25 cents or something. That made it like
If
18.
we had the language in the contract for an extension, Molly, does it need another ordinance?
Well, since we're doing a new price,
Even though the price was set in the contract.
And it was
Because
changed.
there's the,
Except
well,
for
there's
that.
the clause in there, isn't there, about if that tipping rate and stuff go up? That would always be in there no matter what.
Says I'm not
Even throughout
government pricing, they have no control over.
Yeah, I don't know.
let me read the contract again. But I know that there was a clause in there about extension of the contract for 3 years. But there wasn't a price in there, was there?
Yes.
Yeah, it was, but it's
Yes, there
different.
was
It did say what the price was.
There
gonna
was
be.
like an 1835 and it goes up to like 1859, I believe. Is
What's the harm in just going in?
I can get it for you afterwards, Bob.
I mean, there's no harm doing another ordinance.
That's what I'm saying. There's no.
Be cleaner probably if we just did another one.
Yeah.
Since you don't have anything else to do, just do another.
But we'll have legislation.
I'll have Bob send that to Bob, the copies of the contract.
Max?
I don't know, besides what the mayor talked about, yes, we did get the decorations removed. Stored away. Working on I got a call. It was right around Christmas Day, actually, that we had catch basin flaps on John Street. On the alley that runs between John and Fair. They had to go out and shut that street down. And they're going to work on that today.
They're gonna work on Lynn Street too, where the catch basin close to Lynn on John is all eroded out.
And then,
While they're out there.
we're going to try to start tomorrow to get the Christmas tree on the WTMS lot removed. Take a joint effort between our town fire department and public works to get all that down, so. We're just gonna cut it up on site, so.
Never thought about planting a tree there, so
Yeah,
like one that stays.
I think W2 didn't want one planted
Oh,
there.
okay.
That was, I mean, previously, that's what the answer is. I don't know what the answer would be now.
We're gonna be putting out an RFP
I mean, it's a pretty
for
popular
summer
tree.
mowing, for the bridge and then vacant lot mowing. We done better last year, just contracting, like when we have vacant properties.
So you can put that out for bid
for
this year?
For quote, right, for quote.
It probably won't get to the level of bid, so.
Yeah.
Brent Lingo passed his probation, so he's a full-time firefighter now. Right. And I believe Alex Akers, I signed one.
Andrew,
Or
he's not
Andrew.
until tomorrow, he doesn't know yet, so he knows it now.
Now it's public.
That's all right,
Now
he
it's
signed
public.
letters then.
Well, Captain Akers has
Yeah.
passed his.
So
probation.
is that 120 days for captain?
Yeah, captain's for 6 months, 500 a year,
Okay.
yeah.
And,
You're not gonna have anything to report, are you?
I knew it was coming, I
That's
was calling
good.
Akers today to see if he just stopped, so I can give him his letter, knowing it was gonna get brought up tonight. Somebody will be telling him, I'm sure.
And, just the Warsaw project, we're meeting with them this week, I believe, aren't we, Dave?
The 11th.
And been contacted, EPA wants to talk to me about the lagoons over at West Rock, so they're not in the city limits, so it really doesn't affect you guys, but see what they want to know. And stuff. Any questions?
Normal stuff.
So where are we on this Warsaw project? Did we we gave the okay for the engineer,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, they've been doing the engineering, detail engineering.
So what's now what's the process now?
Now we go through and we go after we get the detailed engineering money, and then we start through the grant process. See how much money we can obtain. That's gonna be a lot of, that is, hopefully with all this infrastructure money and things that they're boasting about, it's anything we can get of that, it really helps the Warsaw residents out. Because it brings, anything we don't have to take in loans, obviously brings our price way down, so we'll be really working with SVP and.
So is it all on us to get all this money, or is Warsaw involved?
They're involved in it. They're,
Not that much.
well, I mean, we have the experience with us like.
Right.
Well, yeah, and ultimately, it's our project.
Right.
I mean,
End of the day, we'll have it, so.
So I look for probably some EPA money. H2 Ohio, we got, I think, $500,000 for West Lafayette. I'm assuming we'll get some EPA
But
money.
we got denied already, right? Once.
No, that was just design loan.
The design loan?
Yeah, design loan stuff.
Yeah.
No, we should, we just moved and passed a bill in the state house that basically it's dedicated 250 million for water and sewer projects. So we should be on our way to some of that money. So
It could get exciting real quick, depending on what happens at Frontier. Okay, so, because there's already been several inquiries about water and sewer. So we could have a lot of stuff on the table at one time, so. Keep Mr. Cage right around for another 10 or 15 years.
Anybody else?
Thanks.
And
Is
Tom, to
Verizon's-
answer your question about Warsaw, we've approached the different funding agencies about Warsaw applying for some of the grants on their own. And that's basically been shot down because they're not gonna own it after the end of the project. So yeah, really, the city will take the lead and try to obtain most of this funding because Warsaw can't, because we're gonna own the project when it's done. Be nice if we could both apply for funding to hit it from both ends, but that's, we've tried that, I was shot down.
I think we talked about it before. I think our big concern is who's gonna end up. We just don't wanna get stuck with the.
well, we're not gonna, if we see we're not
I know
gonna
you
get
said
funding, we ain't gonna move. I mean, we're gonna dance. It's gonna be definitely, it's gonna. And hopefully we get lucky and we get most of the funding.
Verizon's still interested in leasing a portion of the city to put a tower up? Weren't they talking
Yes,
about?
yes, that's, sure that's that one day to the next, but they move very slowly. There's gonna be a tower put up down at the water plant.
Yeah.
That'll bring in over 30 years, like close to $500,000. Not a huge amount over that time period. I mean, it's a lot of money, but.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, that's still, they've
Okay.
been down there, they've got the drawings all laid out, and all that.
okay.
That guy, I think, is just, they must have one guy for this whole side of Mississippi. Brian Ramirez.
Yeah, I mean, how long we been talking about it?
At least 2 years.
Yeah, all the
That's what I was
paperwork's
wondering.
done.
The paperwork's all done.
It's all done. It's all signed. It's just,
Just whenever you get ready.
yeah, supply chain issues.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anything else, Max? Dave?
In my monthly report, I mentioned there, that I think we were very fortunate. We only had a minor amount of freezing from that bomb. And according to my guys, most of the places where we had a system freezing, Just remind homeowners that if they have done a little bit of preparation, that when it happened, some places, doors were cracked open, the windows wasn't closed, no insulation on the meters. But overall, we survived that from the water side very well, no major breaks. We had a half a dozen minor breaks. I was pleased with that. So that's, again, just remind the homeowners, when this cold weather comes, protect your meters, because our current charge for replace a frozen meter is $475. I mean, so it adds up pretty quick. That's probably the key takeaway.
I heard one house didn't have any heat on, that's why the main line froze in the house. That was just word on the street.
So in your monthly report, you said you're expecting the overdues to increase over the next several months.
In my opinion, with people having high utility bills, where are they going to try to save for Christmas? What we've seen historically, after the holidays, I think it'll go up slightly. We'll do everything they can, but I do to see, people trying to heat their homes during that cold spell. Some they're going to have to make hard choices, and I think we'll see that go up slightly.
Does Davis, NoHoCo still have assistance for water or still have money?
Yeah, that's in there. I'm glad you brought that up there. We're still referring people to the HOCO. We have seen people starting to take our advice, sign up for the payment plans, and get them off the proverbial red tag list. That's starting to help. We've even offered people, if they sign up for ACH, we'll waive the last red tag fee just to get them on automatic payment. We've had some people take that offer up.
Dave, would it be, this going back to the no left turn signs, should we maybe put a little ditty in the water bills about no left turn from 7th on the Walnut? But, they've been alerted.
Yeah, and in fact, Tom asked me, I don't have that price yet. I remember we had a price last year, I think it was in the $500 range, that we could actually put a double-sided insert in the water bill. If you want to do like a quarterly announcement, we'll get that price firm at the next meeting. And that may some things you council want to look at is every quarter or so kind of put a newsletter out there of different changes and stuff like that. Yeah, we can put a little ditty. We got a few lines in that one box.
I know we've done a little bit of that, but when we make those kind of changes, that's one way to alert the public. Everybody's getting a water bill, so they can't say they don't know, even though you can't see the sign.
Unless they're signed up for paperless.
Don't say I don't get my bill.
I don't get my bill either. So.
We have very few actually sign up for paperless. They still want a bill.
Yeah.
So we can do
All
that.
right, thanks.
Oh, for the.
So on your fire hydrants, what are the ones that they're priority one, but the only ones that don't have any color on?
I'm waiting for an update on distribution, and I did get that before I sent that out. I know they're working on those. We started ordering parts for some of the yellow ones to get those installed. I think we're still, we've actually started on a few of the 2s and 3s, while we wait on this other stuff.
So what does this mean? Like it says the watch valve, and it has no's and a yes.
Okay. You have your main line, then they have what they call, it's a valve in front of the hydrant, so you can take the hydrant out.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of these old, what they call the 2-lungers, is got there's no valve there to take.
That makes sense. Okay. Gotcha.
And we prefer to dig them up and put a new steamer in. I know that there'll be customers out of water, but getting rid of that 2-phase and putting the steamer in.
Yeah, because that probably we'll have to look, try to minimize, we'll probably require 2 valves to be installed
Right.
to isolate that section.
Well, you definitely repaired more than we have broken now. It's not operational. It's good.
Yeah, we're still making good progress. Like I say, we're gonna try to replace the one Hawkeye Street, and it keeps getting hit broken, probably do Ridgewood first, or we're gonna keep on the ones that are yellow, which ones you'd like to see first.
Anybody else? You actually have a say-so, chief? You actually have a say-so on that stuff?
Yeah, they're going well. Chris and I talk, Dave and I talk, and Chris is hydrant man and I talk on a regular basis on things. Chris stops in, checks my list against his list, so
Good.
we appreciate it. It's going pretty well.
Good. Anybody else have anything for Dave?
Just to backtrack to what he said about the inserts in the bills, I think that might be a good idea for us to consider to do maybe a quarterly newsletter to send out, and we can put updates of ordinances and, you know, activities, no left turns,
Right, stop
anything
at
like that, we
stop
can put
signs.
in there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Took a while for them to stop out there on Chestnut. It's gonna put that forward. It's a process.
It's a process.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, I know that. Let's see, we have we have a public hearing at 6:45. Lanny, you have anything?
Just happy to be here. Happy to be here. I don't, if there are any questions though for me about the entertainment district, I can answer those. I know that, you know, emergency should be reserved, but I would say though that as soon as it's passed, and I think we discussed it at the last meeting, and certainly we advertised that it would be tonight, so for folks paying attention, they would certainly know about this. But as soon as it's passed, it goes then to the state, and then that starts the process of the state, just like DORA. It could be anywhere between 60 days-ish, give or take 30 days, you know, it's the state, but SPP's talked to their contact at the state, and they're ready to receive that as soon as it would be passed. So hopefully we can move quickly on that, appropriately. So I think we could, you know, cautiously expect it to be back to us by St. Patrick's Day. So
Where are we on entertainment for the summer concert?
we're at 2 booked. I can't say yet. You know, whenever you book for the concert series, you always have a moratorium on when you can announce it. And that's just through the production end on that. So we've got half done in June and July, and then August and September, we're working on those acts. So
Has anyone ever contacted Phil Dirk and those, since they are, well, one of them is Coshocton based, the original. He's still singing at age 75.
not that I know of, unless Chad has. So I worked on the first
10
2
years
acts, and
younger
then
than Roger.
we're gonna get back together on the August and September one. So
Google.
you showed me the YouTube video, I think. I recall, but no,
He was at their first show.
Roger, not. No, but yeah, if there's any kind of feedback on the acts and stuff like that. Other than that, you know, we're in January, but we've got a lot ahead, so I'll be coming back and talking about everything that our town's doing, has planned, and get done together with the city, so.
How's SPP? What are they? And what, you guys have a meeting Friday or Wednesday, right?
I think we're trying to get that.
It's changed because I'll be at an out of town meeting on Wednesday.
Oh, I
so-
thought- don't you guys have to be someplace Wednesday morning with her, with Abby?
Yeah, we're going,
Yeah.
we're going to Logan.
Yeah.
You have a meeting, I think, on Wednesday, so,
We just received a report, Tom, I think it just. came
yeah,
through.
December report just came in.
Yeah, guess I'll have that next one. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Committee meetings adjourned. See you guys at 6:45.
I'm sure this
PM is the regularly scheduled, Coshocton City Council meeting. Wish everybody a happy new year. It's off to a good start. Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, here, Barcroft,
Here.
Gross,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
Turner, here.
Need a motion to exclude Councilman Mishler. Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, Barcroft, Gross, Johnson, Moore,
Yes.
Turner, yes.
Please stand for the pledge and then pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God.
Oh God, we thank you again for this opportunity. Pray that you bless each one tonight as we do city business. In your name.
Council emailed the minutes from the December 19th council meeting. Any questions or comments?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Call the roll.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner, yes.
Public input. Turner. State your name. Your address, please.
Press Lane. I'll address this question toward the service director's office. In my neighborhood, there's a property there at 2139 Morgan Run Road with a large metal garage behind it. It appears to be operating a car repair or body shop business out of. Since about the week of Thanksgiving, we've been seeing quite a few vehicles parked around this area. And this is an R1 residential type neighborhood, and I don't feel it's a good fit in that type of neighborhood. And I'm not against new business in town at all. I'm just against that sort of business in that type of neighborhood. And where they're at right now is they have applied for a zoning variance that the meeting will be held on January 31st at 5 p.m. To do business out of there. So what I would really recommend is we already have to legally notify people within 150 feet usually on either side of that business. But since you're here tonight, I'm sure you've been. I'll be at that meeting. But it'll be January 31st at 5 o'clock. They have asked for a zoning variance. There's going to work on one car at a time. When they come in at 1st of December, obviously that's not happening. So I haven't been up by there, but just. So they're allowed to operate until they get a variance. Seems kind of counterproductive to me, but. Yeah.
The answer is no, they're not allowed to operate until they get.
Is that meeting at City Hall?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So downstairs.
Wasn't aware of that. No, it'll be in these chambers. Okay. I'll be present then. Thank you.
What's the address again?
2139 Morgan.
I'm also a resident with Crest Lane, and I agree with Mike, and I know there's been a couple of other of our neighbors who have approached me with concerns, so.
I believe that right on Cambridge and Morgan Road is zone B1, B3. I don't want to misspeak, but
This particular property is R1.
Correct. It is.
The grass lot next to them looks like it's B1. That's everybody's fear in the neighborhood, that once you get a car repair business or a body shop or whatever they're doing, then that lot will turn into a car lot.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. No additions to the agenda, from standing committees. Mayor's report. Mayor, you have anything to report for us? Excuse me, sir. I know you guys are emailed the building permit summary, and the report summary for 2022. And there's also the mayor's statement from the general funds with the permits TV permits, planning zoning applications and taxi cabs. So
No, I just want to state that, last year was, like Sherry had stated in committee, not a horrible year. We're, chugging along with living within our means, and, I think we do as much as we can with what we have, kind of the great American way. So want to thank the people who made it happen, and ultimately the people who made it happen are the 100 employees that we have working for the city. You look at water, sewer, parks, cemetery, streets, fire, sheriff's office, everyone's part of that council. We have a little over 8 square miles. I'm happy to report, and I'll go into more detail. The first meeting of February in the state of the city address, what's really going on, but excited what happened. And
February 13th, Mayor.
yeah, February 13th, I'll be delivering the state of the city, and really exciting, what's going on here. So looking forward to a very prosperous 2023. One of my goals that I've started on, that I've been working on about 2.5 years, is returning the Carnegie Library back to public use. Made my first phone call to one of multiple lawyers from the Dedman family, and just wanted to, hand out the olive leaf to, we really want to work with you. If you want to preserve that building, you wouldn't have let it sat there for 50 years and deteriorate. So I want everyone to know that's one of my top priorities this year. And very excited to see what else happens in 2023. So one more thing I want to mention, the Yodel calendar, I believe, goes live tomorrow. I've made a fun video with Chamber Director Amy Crown, and that will be posted probably to socials probably tomorrow, the next day. But the Yodel calendar is events.yodel.today/Coshocton. And it has 27 organizations right now, not even live yet, with 4,000 events so far. So we can have up to, I think we could have 200 organizations to start with. So we have 27, but we have 4,000 events so far. So schools, the city, want to remind people, if you don't want to set up a page like for your organization, they can always reach out to my assistant, Bob Beaumont, here at City Hall, and we'll put an event on the city's calendar. If there's anything you guys can think of that you need put on that calendar, just reach out. But if someone doesn't want to create an organization, they have one event a year, we can get it on our city organization page, and looking forward to people saying, wow, there is something to do in Coshocton. So that's exciting. Thank you.
I'll just finish that up with, I'd like to thank you, Mayor, you did a lot of good things. I know everybody wants everything done right away, but I think with a lot of hard work with people who work for you, and I think you guys do a good job. So the city's definitely improved. Any other questions or comments for the mayor? Safety Director?
I don't have anything to add up on what we discussed in committee, unless you did that one.
Law Director's Report, count your email, the Law Director's annual report for 2022. Bob, you have anything to add?
Only that the Ohio Revised Code does require me to give this report to council at the first council meeting in January of each year. That's why it was submitted to you today. I apologize I couldn't get it to you earlier, but the numbers presented in the first section come from municipal court, and I just obtained those numbers last week. If there's any questions concerning the report, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions? Thank you. Auditor's Report. Councilor emailed the December report from Sherry. Sherry, you have anything to add?
The only thing I wanted to touch on a little bit is on the general fund portion. Hopefully you remember and are aware that, earlier, mid-year, we reduced our expenses, the $576,000 that we used for ARPA, reduced our salaries. Had we not done that, we would have ended the year, in our general fund about $550,000. So without doing that, our expenses for the general fund would have exceeded $5 million. So that helped tide us over for this year and hopefully will carry us through some more next year. Other than that, if there's any other questions on the detail, check the books. If not, just need to be approved in the minutes.
Any motion to accept the auditor's report? Call the roll, please.
Andrew? Yes. Barcroft?
Yes.
Gross?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Turner? Yes.
Sheriff's report, council emailed the December report, had the chart, the city limits and the city map. Any questions for Sheriff Crawford? Sheriff Crawford, do you have anything for us?
Nothing to add unless there's questions.
Where are we on, hiring a code enforcement officer?
I understand we have a meeting set up tomorrow to move, to work on that, so should be forthcoming.
Thank you.
Or are you just making sure already?
No, I just wondered.
We talked about it yesterday.
Utilities Director, Dave, you have anything to add?
Nothing.
Council, your email, the monthly report, had the billing, the distribution, the water from the water department, sewer department, and the fire hydrant log sheet. I would like to say thank you because I think the fire hydrants are very important in the city. I know there's a supply chain issue, but it seems like every meeting, there's more and more that are getting caught up and finished. So, Chief, Dave, thanks for the efforts in that. Anybody have any questions? Chief Dragg, you have anything?
I do, sir, thank you. We requested everybody strongly go home and check their smoke detectors. We've been pushing it pretty hard lately. Brent Inslee, Fire Prevention Officer, put out a PSA. Ohio this year was, or 2022 was over 150 fire deaths. And you are 55% less likely to die in a fire with working smoke detectors. So you can't, if you don't have them, can't get them, can't afford them, come see us, we'll give them to you. So.
Thank you. Do you have anything? Actually, I'm gonna step on his bridge again.
No, I
They try to get smoke detectors.
I'll take it.
No.
And that, we're serious, you guys can't get them, see us, we don't care, we don't ask you questions, we make a name, address and phone number, but that's it.
It's a
We
great,
would rather you have them than
Yep.
not be able to get them.
great service.
You are following up when you have calls at residents that they do have working smoke.
Yeah, every call for service that we have the ability to do it and the call for service allows us to do it, we'll check for working smoke detectors. If they don't have them, we'll do everything we can to get them. So we have had success stories here within the last couple of years in the city of Coshocton where Fire Prevention Officer Brent, he put up smoke detectors in a house on Elm Street. And a couple of weeks later, there was a juvenile that started a fire in the upstairs and it alerted the other kids and the mom downstairs to get out. And it was a decent fire. So there has been success stories with smoke detectors here locally.
Thank you. Income tax report, you were emailed the December tax report about Jackie Cushman, the monthly yearly totals. And I think Sherry went over the JED report, how they broke that down, payroll withholdings, business net profit, and individual tax returns. But Jackie's not here, but if anybody has any questions, forward them to Sherry, and she could find out answers for us if we had any, right?
Right. Yeah. Or you're always welcome to email Jackie, directly.
Okay,
Mr. President,
yes.
you might want to note in the minutes too, that Treasurer Donnell, your JED reports for the fourth quarter and for the total year were emailed to you. I actually emailed them to you on her behalf, but to maybe reflect that in the minutes.
I didn't read those. I had them under your report, to be honest with you. Yeah, right
Okay.
here, the JED annual recap and the JED fourth quarter reports.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are technically Donnell's reports.
Yeah, I have them.
Okay.
Did you get those?
Thank you.
we need to do a revote on that since we posted her auditor's report? Just make it
No.
ready.
Make sure,
Just-
Thank
Just
you.
make sure the benefits. are-
We'll go into legislation. I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 123.
An ordinance authorizing the service director to sign all documents and authorize payment necessary for the city to purchase property at 501 North Third Street, Coshocton, Ohio.
For the first reading of ordinance 123, any questions or comments?
Make a motion, we suspend the rules and get 123 a third reading.
Second.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Clerk, please give the third reading of ordinance 123.
An ordinance authorizing the service director to sign all documents and authorize payment necessary for the city to purchase property at 501 North Third Street, Coshocton, Ohio.
Any questions or comments? Question is, should ordinance 123 pass? Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 223.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Coshocton Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account on behalf of the city of Coshocton for the planning, design, and/or construction of the wastewater facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
For the first reading of ordinance 223, any questions or comments?
Make a motion to suspend the rules and go to a third reading.
Second.
Or second. Call the roll, please.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Clerk, please give the third reading of ordinance 223.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Coshocton Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into water supply revolving loan account on behalf of the city of Coshocton for the planning, design, and/or construction of the wastewater facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
Questions or comments? The question is, should ordinance 223 pass? Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Ordinance 223 is passed. I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 323.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Coshocton to make application to the state of Ohio in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code Section 4301.80 to establish a community entertainment district within the city of Coshocton, Ohio, known as the Coshocton Community Entertainment District.
For the first reading of ordinance 323, any questions or comments?
Make a motion to suspend the rules and go directly to the third reading.
Call the roll, please.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Clerk, please give the third reading of ordinance 323.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor of the city of Coshocton to make application to the state of Ohio in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code Section 4301.80 to establish a community entertainment district within the city of Coshocton, Ohio, known as the Coshocton Community Entertainment District.
Questions or comments? The question is, should ordinance 323 pass? Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Ordinance 323 is passed. No second or third readings, no resolutions, any old business? New business communications?
I just, Max, are you going to follow up on Mr. Turner's? All right, let us know how that goes. And I'd like to thank Mr. Johnson for being here so we can conduct some business tonight.
Follow up with tomorrow. So, okay, clerk, when's the date and time of our next meeting?
January 23rd.
Okay, committee meeting to start at 5:30. Need a motion for the meeting to be adjourned?
So move.
Or
Second.
Andrews, call the roll, please.
Andrews, yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Adjourned.